Hi there, Pastor Lanre here. How have you been? I'm sure God's preservation and protection over you and yours is sure. Welcome to another exciting episode of Pastor Lanre Uncensored. Today I have a very interesting subject to discuss with you. You see, this season of the lockdown globally has brought different things to the fore. One of the things is brought to the fore is the depth of the relationship between spouses. It's been a time of bonding and love blossoming for many people, but sadly for others, it's been a time of coming to the point where they literally realize that they cannot stand their spouses. And that is what I want to talk to you about today. What do you do when you can't stand your spouse? But before we go into that, let's take this session of worship from the incredible Ikechukwu Okonji, otherwise known as Ike the Combophonist. I'll be right back after this.
Because we're too far with your power, you perform miracles. There is nothing that you cannot do. We are standing here only because you made our way. You made our way. Yes, Lord. You made our way. Let me hear you sing. You made a way. You made a way. You made a way. You made a way. Whoa, whoa. Yes, I know. You made a way. You made a way. Jesus, you made a way. You made a way. Say, you move my
What a great time of worship by Ikechukwu Okonji, also known as Ike the Combophonist. Isn't it interesting that sound that sounds so much like a saxophone is coming from a comb? Yes, a comb. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Well, today I want to talk to you about what do you do when you find out that the person that you are in love with, your spouse, the person that you married, what do you do when you find out that you really can't stand them? You know, this is hard. It's hard to live with a person you can't stand, especially if that person is your spouse. It's a difficult place to be. But you know, I'm a man of faith, and I believe that nothing is beyond redemption. Even that. I believe that even your marriage is not beyond redeeming. But first, we must try and get to the root of the matter. We must get to find out how did you get here. You know why that is important? That is important because being in a state of unhappiness literally is like being in a locked room full of poisonous gas. You will literally die. It is the formula, the recipe for a slow, painful death. And usually people say things like, you know, I will endure it, you know, maybe the person has done wrong. Maybe it is abuse that is causing you not to be able to stand the person, verbal, sexual, or otherwise. Or maybe it's infidelity that is making you not to be able to stand your spouse. And many people say, oh, you know, I'm just going to be there because of my children. It is important that you listen. Most people that say that are saying because I don't want my children to grow up in a broken home. But if the wife and the husband are not talking, they hate each other, they can't stand each other, that is already a very dysfunctional home. In fact, that is a broken home already. That home is already broken. Please do not ignore these things, because when people find themselves in this kind of relationships, suddenly you hear about, and far be it from you, that things like this will be said concerning you. This is the reason why you find people fall into mental illness, and some become even suicidal. You know, people don't just wake up and hate each other. People don't just wake up overnight and suddenly cannot stand each other. There must have been things you liked about your spouse. Otherwise, you will not have married them. There must have been things that you thoroughly admired about them. Otherwise, you will not have married them. So the question then is, how did we get here? How did we get to this place where the marriage has deteriorated to the point where we just cannot stand each other? Please, this is not the place to start pointing fingers. This is not the part where you now do he said, she said, he did, she did, because that is not what I am talking about here. It is also not the place where you throw in the towel and like, you know what, we're here, this is beyond the redemption, and there's really nothing I can do about it. No, I don't think this is that place for that. As long as there has been no violence or abuse or any of these other things that threatens your life, I don't think that you are beyond redemption. So what really happened? Did you take each other for granted? Did you stop communicating? Was it infidelity? Or did you just become intolerant of each other's weaknesses? Did you have grudges that you refuse to talk about? You must find out, how did we get here? Now, what I'm asking you to do is very difficult. And some of you are going to think that it is almost impossible. But like I said to you, I'm a man of faith. And I believe God for the best to come out of your marriage. I believe God with you. God still does miracles. In fact, talking about miracles, is it not interesting? Is it not interesting that the first miracle that Jesus performed was at a wedding ceremony in Cana of Galilee? And the Bible tells us that their wine ran out. Wow. Wine stands for passion. It stands for that thing that intoxicates us, that makes us desire one another. And even in the wedding in Cana of Galilee, wine ran out. Maybe Maybe wine ran out in your home. Maybe there's no passion, there's nothing intoxicating about your spouse anymore. There's nothing exciting about them. If they got a miracle in Cana of Galilee, I want to believe God for a miracle for your home. I want to trust God for a miracle for your house. But like the people in Cana of Galilee, they took responsibility. They said, you know what? This is where we are. We don't have wine. You need to find out what ran out in your relationship. Jesus said something. Jesus said, go and look for the water pots outside. The Bible says that there were 6 water pots, and he says, fill them. I want to kind of think that the water pots are like elements that you need in your relationship for it to begin to function. So I'm wondering, what ran out? What ran out in your relationship? What was it? Responsibility? Was it kindness? Was it respect? Was it security? Was it communication or friendship? What ran out? Maybe if you begin to fill these water pots back, if you begin to fill these things back, things will begin to change in your home. And someone is saying, no, Pastor, you didn't. All of those things are not the things that is lacking. Well, maybe your own is intimacy, or maybe it is generosity, or maybe it is forgiveness. But whatever else has run out in your marriage, you need to begin to take responsibility and begin to fill those water pots back. You need to begin to fill those water pots back. Someone is saying, Pastor, but these things are mundane. These things should not be the reason why we are where we are. You just keep doing your part. Just keep doing your part. Keep being nice. Be respectful. If you're the one who does the cooking, please do the cooking. If you're the one who does the helping, please be helpful. Forgive the bad behavior. Don't begin to talk to your children in a way that will make them turn against their mom or turn against their dad. Don't do any of those things. Like I said to you earlier, these things are tough, especially if you are not feeling your spouse. I mean, you're already in a bad place. Why should I even try? Pastor, someone is saying, Pastor, but I've tried before and it did not work. Why should I bother trying again? Well, what I'm going to tell you is this. God is a redeemer and God still does miracle. You just keep doing your part. Keep doing your part. One of the things I have learned in life is that very few people, if there is any, can resist the force of love. Just keep loving them. Keep doing your part and believe God for the best. Keep trusting God and He will cause wine to flow again in your marriage. Now, in closing, you may not see change happen immediately, and that can lead to frustration. You may find out that you are doing all of these things and you are not seeing the change. Remember, it takes faith and it takes patience to inherit the promise. So be patient with your spouse and keep doing your part. You know, what I'm believing God for you is not just the restoration of your marriage or of your relationship the way it used to be. I'm believing God for you for something that is better than what you used to have. Again, thank you very much for your time. Until I come your way next time, do your best. Keep loving your spouse, keep praying, and you will soon find out that the wine will start flowing again in your marriages. Again, God bless you. Have a great time.